Hi everyone, in my last two videos I showed you what an inner join is and also what a left join is. Okay, and I made you to realize also that left join and inner join are the two most important joins you are going to be using on a day-to-day basis. Okay, however, we are also going to be talking about right join. It's also good for you to know what a right join is, but just take note that right join is basically the opposite of a left join. Okay, in a right join you would return records or rows from the right table plus any matching keys or values from the left table. What are we talking about right here? What we are basically saying is that if you want to join two tables, say table A and table B, table A in your query is what you are going to write first, which is going to be the left, while table B is the one you write as the second table, which is going to be the right. Okay, now when you perform a right join, you are going to be returning those rows that has matching keys or values. Remember that when you are joining two tables, we always use a related column. We always use a column that you have in table A and table B, right? So in terms of primary key and foreign key, right? So if they have matching keys, you are going to return the rows, and that is where this intersection comes in. However, because this is a right join, you also have an additional records or rows that are returned that are from the right table, that is from table B exclusively. Okay, so that means that in your right join, you are returning rows that are exclusive to table B, that's to the right table, and also rows that have matching keys or matching values with the left table, that is the left table and the right table, they have matching keys, right? You return those rows and also the rows that are exclusive to the right table. Okay, and I think an example will make you to really understand this better. Okay, now let us take a look at this example right here before we jump to PG admin. Okay, to look at how to write the query. So in the case of this, you have a customer table and you have a rental table, and you have been asked to perform a right join. This is the output of the right join, right? But how did we come about this result right here? Remember what I just said, that when you are joining two tables with a right join, you are going to obtain the rows that have matching keys, right? That have matching keys in the column you are joining on. So in this case, we are joining on customer ID, right? This customer table is your left table because we are going to write it first in the query. Then the renter table is the right table. Okay, so now we are joining on this customer ID, just like we showed in our inner join and our left join. Okay, but in this case, like I said, we are going to return the rows that the customer ID here is the same thing as the customer ID here. So that means in this case we have customer ID 1, right? So, and customer ID 1 is also here. So that means I'm going to return this row, which is what you are seeing right here, customer ID 1, Mary and Smith. And also because it is also here, we are going to return 26, 1 and 2346. Remember that what I told you in my previous video, this customer ID is from this rental table, and that is why I gave it this name, rental customer ID. This customer ID is from this customer table here. That is why I gave it customer ID. Okay, now let us look at the next one, customer ID 2. You can see that customer ID 2, we have it right here, but we don't have customer ID 2 right here. So because we do not have it there, we are not going to return it in our right join. You can see that there is no customer ID 2 right here. Okay, now let us go to customer ID 3. let us go to customer ID 3. You can see we have customer ID 3 right here in your left table. We also have customer ID 3 in your right table. So because of that, we are going to put that right here in our output. That's going to be customer ID 3, Victor Gibson. What is the rental ID? 27. I have 27 here. Customer ID 3, I have 3, and I have 2294. Right? You can see that, guys. Now, if you go to the fourth one, customer ID 4, you can see that we also have customer ID 4 right here. We have 3 of them, and that is why we are returning the 3 of them right here. Customer ID 4, Thelma Murray. Then Thelma Murray joins to this one right here, 24/4/1525. 24/4/1525. This is another Thelma Murray, which also joins with 25/4/2452. 25/4/2452. Okay. Now we also have the third Thelma Murray, right, which joins with what this for right here, 28/4/2346. 28/4/2346. Okay. Now you can see that. Now, where the concept of right join then comes in is this. You can see that we have been able to return the rows that exist that have matching keys between the left table and the right table, right? However, in a right join, we say that there is also additional rows or records that will be returned that are exclusive to rental table. And if you see that, we have been able to return all these ones right here, but we have not returned this one. Look at this. This one has customer ID 6. Do you get that now? This is customer ID 6, but there is no customer ID 6 right here. So that means that this row is exclusive to the right table, and that is why we return it. Let me write it very well. And that is why we return it right here. You can see it is exclusive. So we have 29, rental ID 29, customer ID is 6, and then the inventory ID is 44. However, because we do not have it in the customer table, what do we have right here? Customer ID is null because we don't have it. The first name is null. There is no value for that. And the last name is null. We do not have the value for that. Can you see how the right table differs from the left table? When we talked about the left table, we said that we are going to return rows that have matching keys plus rows or records that are exclusive to the left table. You get that now? But in right table, we are going to return, but in right join, we said we are going to return rows that have matching keys, right? That have matching keys plus rows or records that are exclusive to only the right table, which is the rental table. I hope you get this right now, guys. This is very easy. Take note, right join is just the opposite of the left join. Okay, very good, guys. Now let us take a look at how we can write query for right join. Let us go straight to our PG admin. In the case of this, what I've done right here is to create for you two tables. I call it test customer, test underscore customer, that's your customer table. Then I call the second one test underscore rental, that is the rental table. Let's just quickly take a look at how the data is. If I say select star from test customer, if I run this, you can see I have customer ID. Customer ID is my primary key. I have the first name, I have the last name. In this case, I just pick some selected customers right here, 1 to 5, right? This is my column. This is my table for test customer table. Then I could also I also have the rental table, which I've also created. So I call it select star from test rental. So that table is test underscore rental. As you can see right here, I've already created that. You don't need to worry about that right now, but just focus on what we are trying to do right here in terms of understanding what a right join is and how do we write the query for that. So now let's look at how the test rental table is. Very good. You can see how that is right here. We have 6 rows. Now, what about if you have been asked to perform a right join on the test customer table and the test rental table? In which case, the test customer table is what we want to make as the left table, and the test rental table is what we want to make as the right table. How do we write that? To save some time right here, I will just copy and paste and explain what's going on right here, just like what we have done in previous videos. Okay, we are selecting customer ID. Okay, the customer ID is from this test underscore customer, right? We call it customer ID. Then we have the first name, we have the last name. As you can see, let me open this test customer again for you to see. Customer ID, first name, last name. That is what we are getting right there. Then we also want to get the rental ID. Okay, let us go to the rental table. If we go to the rental table, you can see if I go to the columns, if I go to the test rental that I just created, this is it right here, test rental. The columns are rental ID, which is what I'm showing. Also, I'm showing the inventory ID. Also, I'm showing the customer ID. And in this case, because the customer ID is from this test underscore rental table, then I'm also going to put it right here. Because if you don't put it right here, since we are going to be joining on the customer ID, you need to put the table where the customer ID is coming from. Okay, in this case, test underscore customer, in this case, test underscore rental. You also need to do that right here. Because if you don't do that, the SQL server, the PostgreSQL server, is going to be confused as to which customer ID are we talking about. Are you talking about customer ID from the test customer table or customer ID from the test rental table? And that is why you need to specify that. Okay, now you can see that we have our from table that's the first table we are writing is test customer. So that means this is our left table. Okay, now we are right joining with the test rental because the test rental table is what we are writing as the second table. That is going to be your right table, and then we are joining on the customer ID. That means customer ID on the test customer ID on the test rental. Okay, so this is how you write the syntax for this. Then you put right join. You can see this is very easy. Instead of left, you put right. Okay, and then if you want, you can order. If you want, you can do order by the customer ID. That means I want to order by this. Okay, now if I run this right here, what do I get? Very good. You can see now, guys, that this is basically what I just showed you in my slide right now. You can see that we have pretty much the same, right? Because you have for this customer ID that is existing in the right table, which is the test rental, right? But it doesn't have corresponding data in the test customer table, and that is why you have a null. That's why you have null values right here. I hope you understand that right now. That is how you write. That is how you write queries for the right join. Another thing I would quickly like to specify right here is that you could also call, instead of just saying right join, you could just say right outer join as well. So I'm just telling you this in case you see somebody write right outer join, so that you don't get confused. It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same thing. If I run this right now, you can see I just run it and it's the same value. So you can say right outer join is the same thing as right join, or if you say left outer join, it is the same thing as say left join. Okay, just to let you guys also know something right here, if I take out this test customer and this test rental, let's see what happens. If I take it out, you see what happens right here. If I execute, you can see we got an error. It says column reference customer ID is ambiguous. That means that I said on line 1, select customer ID as this. You can see it's telling me that there is an error right here because it doesn't understand where this customer ID is coming from, because we have customer ID in the test customer table and also in the test rental table. It is confused. The SQL server is confused, right? The PostgreSQL server is confused. Therefore, you have to, let me undo this. Therefore, you have to put the table name where those customer ID are coming from. So what I did was just to undo with Ctrl Z. Okay, now if I rerun this now, very good, you can see now we got those outputs back. Okay, all right guys, I hope now you understand right join. Like I said, right join, you will sparingly use it. Most of the times you are going to be using left join and inner join. Okay, now I hope you understand this right now guys, and if you are new on this channel, I highly encourage you to subscribe to this channel because we have many more videos we are going to be publishing out for you guys. And don't forget to like, comment, and help us to share our videos so that more people can benefit from this video. And as you know, that as you comment and like, it also helps the algorithm to rank us higher in the search. All right guys, I'll see you in the next class. Stay blessed.